That's the nature of addiction, isn't it? When you want to scratch that itch, you want to pick it up, you want to look at it, you want to get that dopamine hit. The key to curing, overcoming an addiction is being conscious of it, being able to fight that itch and being able to say, I acknowledge you feel that itch, then to intentionally and consciously declare that you're not going to do that. In my own life and with my own kids, I've seen how completely this has come to dominate their lives and our family's life in a not positive way. Bill Maher, he was talking about this. People used to say this about TV, and generation before that, people used to say this about radios. But as he quite rightly points out, this is so much more intense than the experience when we were kids watching TV, just in a different league of intensity for children today, and the damage I think it's doing. I mean, yeah, you could watch TV in the evenings for 2 or 3 hours or something, but then you go to bed and you wouldn't have the TV in the bed and be watching the TV until 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning when you had to get up to school. You wonder why your kid is completely drained and washed out in the morning for school. And again, the double-edged nature of this technology issue is that so many kids in the last 18 months have basically just sort of been lying in bed, seemingly on a Zoom class, but really they've been on Instagram or TikTok. And the teacher is struggling to compete with that constant drip of entertainment and amusement, and you can't mandate that. If you try turning the Wi-Fi off, it's going to be Third World War in your house that evening, and most parents don't want to fight that war after a long day at work. The notion of introducing an age limit is really for the next generation of kids. I say if you've got a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old kid, try and keep your kid away from this stuff for as long as you can. The reason I feel guilty is because I was one of the proponents that first text you got from your little daughter, how cute that was, and you didn't realize that one text was going to turn into 1 million Snapchats a year or some ridiculous number. I mean, I asked my kid one time how many Snapchats he sends in an average day, and it was just shocking, and it was just horrifying. I mean, the sexualization and pornification of a generation of young girls, I mean, again, it's shocking. I remember we were at a Broadway show, and I think it was Hamilton, and there was this group of mid-teen girls, literally up to the second the show started, all they were doing was standing with their backs towards the stage, just taking selfies of them and pulling all of these Instagram faces, model faces. I mean, it was just horrifying, really. You can laugh at it and think, oh, that's stupid and dumb, but that's the culture now of a generation of kids. And for many young women, that's fine. It's not such a big deal. But there's a significant percentage of young women who are struggling with that. And this whole notion of body dysmorphia, I mean, again, is a real phenomena, which is horrifying. I remember I was sitting on a plane, it was a cross-country 6-hour flight, and there was a young couple with a young child standing up. This young couple spent this 6-hour flight with their kid standing in front of them. The whole time they were just glued to their phone. They hardly paid any attention to the kid. But think about a generation of kids that are fighting for attention with a phone. I just think that's horrifying and shocking, and it's going to have all sorts of consequences down the road on the development of that individual child and a whole generation of children, which again, I don't think is positive.